If you are truly elite as a high school distance runner, then you are supposed to show up to a cross-country national championship meet. The only problem is, we have more than one of them, which makes it pretty hard for college coaches to really figure out who is the best. But now that the Nike Cross National meet and the Foot Locker Nationals are officially over, I believe I speak for most of them when I say we have a pretty good idea. If you don't know much about the Foot Locker meet, allow me to fill you in, because last season, Drew Griffith won that event on the boys' side. He entered the 2023 season as nothing more than a low 4-star recruit on SCArecruiting.com, but after that victory, and breaking some high school national records along the way, he finished the year as the top distance recruit in the entire nation. So yes, Foot Locker is a big deal. Simply put, if you have what it takes to win it all there, you probably also have what it takes to keep on doing it all the way through the track and field season. So allow me to break down what really happened at the Foot Locker National meet. I'm not just talking about the results, I mean what those results mean if you're a college coach who is trying to figure out who is really the best. And on the girls' side, Elizabeth Leachman made it clear that conversation is one we should have ended already. She wasn't even one of the leaders for the girls' 5K during the first kilometer of the race. In fact, that would be Zariel Makia, who is a 5-star recruit in the class of 2025. Apparently, she wanted to make that very clear to the entire field early. But Elizabeth Leachman is the only 99 overall rating in the class of 2026 for a reason, because she was at the Olympic trials, outdoors in the 5K, after her high school sophomore season. To clarify, the 5K isn't really a high school track and field event. She's just so good at it that when she ran it in other meets, she made it to the trials anyway. But Elizabeth was also there at the Nike meet and did not get the victory, because Jane Hedengren apparently had very different plans. But that was then, and this is now, because by the end of that race, Elizabeth Leachman had opened up a pretty sizable lead, leaving no doubt that she was the best woman in the field. Again, because she is now a back-to-back champion at the Foot Locker meet. So it seems to me at this point, her 99 overall rating is not going anywhere. Yet finishing right behind her was 2025 Duke commit Victoria Garces, which is a very big deal when you realize they went 2-3 at the Nike Cross National meet just a week ago. The only differences are Jane Hedengren was not in this field, and beyond that, Victoria Garces beat Elizabeth Leachman the week before. She actually entered the season as just a low 4-star recruit, but after going top 3 at 2 different national meets, it's abundantly clear she's way better than we gave her credit. And although she didn't hold on for the victory, Zariel Makia still finished in 3rd when it was all done. And in case you weren't paying attention, she is also committed to BYU, just like Jane Hedengren, the same team that just won the cross-country national championship meet in 2024. So yes, they are my very early pick to win it all again next season. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. So if the story of the girls' race was about the absolute best athletes proving that their accomplishments are not a fluke, the boys' race was something different entirely. Not one boy who went top 5 at the Nike meet came back to even run at Foot Locker. That said, somebody had to become a national champion, and Tamrat Gavenas is that man. He didn't run away from the field and eventually gutted it out to get the victory. But that is all that matters, because in cross country, we can basically throw the times out and focus on who wins and who loses. More importantly, who did you run against and who did you beat? Because Tam was just a low 4-star recruit before the season started. And after winning Foot Locker, that rating is clearly going up. The boys who finished 2nd and 3rd behind him entered the 2024 season ranked well ahead of him on the national list. They were Juan Gonzalez and Jack Grafeo, a high 4-star recruit and a legitimate 5-star. And in Jack's case, he is already committed to run for Colorado. But in case anybody forgot, rankings don't mean anything after the gun goes off. They can't run the race for you, and they definitely won't win you a national title, which is why Tam now has that crown. And in his case, he is now committed to Harvard in the Ivy League, the same exact program that just gave us Graham Blanks, the back-to-back cross-country national champion and an Olympian. If you think about it, it's incredibly ironic that essentially on the same weekend that Graham Blanks decided to turn professional, forfeiting the remainder of his college eligibility. That was the same weekend that Tamrat Gavenas won the Foot Locker meet, because they both share a lot of similarities. When Graham was coming out of high school, he was a low 4-star recruit, but he really didn't have a high school track event to prove just how good he was. Just like Tamrat Gavenas, the longer the races seem to get, the more competitive he seems to be, which is why it's not that big a surprise in hindsight that he was the one to eventually win at Foot Locker. Don't get me wrong, there were a whole bunch of talented athletes all throughout those fields, but what actually matters when you get to the next level, the collegiate level, is being able to perform. Not just running fast, but being able to do it in the one race that you actually need to run. It's exactly how you and your team become the national champion, and history is telling us that the athletes who are able to pull it off at Foot Locker have a really good chance of being able to do it again when the entire NCAA is watching. If you think you need help getting recruited, you are probably right. On SCArecruiting.com, you can get a ton of resources like my free recruiting guide, detailed videos, online courses, and much more. And if nothing else, and you just really want to see more content like this, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.